My 23-year-old girlfriend went through my 23-year-old male phone behind my back and blocked every female on my Instagram while I was in the shower. Should I start planning my escape or give her another chance? My girlfriend and I started dating in February and moved in together in October. I don't really have anything worth keeping secret from her, so I'm comfortable leaving my phone around, knowing she knows my password. I noticed this morning that my Instagram follower count was off and saw that every female was unfollowed/blocked. These were all coworkers, friends I made in the army, family friends, etc. I confronted her, and she started crying and blaming it on trust issues. I have never cheated in any relationship and do my best to maintain mutual trust. I've been thinking all day while she's at work and feel like she broke my trust permanently. She also doesn't let me play video games with my male friends anymore because she feels left out. Update. The night after I submitted my original post, I told her I needed boundaries while gaming with my friends. This resulted in a bad argument/breakup. She broke my PC and threatened to give my cat to the Humane Society. The kennel was hers, so I had no way to get him out until I convinced her not to make this the cat's problem. She also threatened my sister for letting me stay with her and started harassing my friend I play games with. She made sure to call all of her friends and family to make sure they knew she was 100% the victim. While I was putting my stuff in the car, she started kicking my bags, threatening me, and tried to get in the car while I was pulling off. I received about 400 phone calls, texts, Instagram messages, etc. I wanted to relay some of your advice to her, but she clearly wasn't interested in taking any accountability. I blocked her on all platforms. I forgot a bunch of stuff while scrambling to leave, and she told me she was selling my $600 Garmin and anything else I forgot. My cat and I are now living on my sister's couch for the time being. To everyone saying, "Dude, just leave," I planned on secretly moving all my stuff out while she was at work because I knew this would be the reaction. My wife's friend, 32-year-old female, cheated on her 30-year-old male fiancé during her bachelorette party, and my wife didn't think it was that big of a deal. Help! A few weeks ago, my wife went away to Miami for one of her best friend's bachelorette parties. After she got back, I overheard a conversation between my wife and another one of her friends who was also at the bachelorette party. Long story short, the bride-to-be cheated on her fiancé while she was there. She met a guy at a club, took him back to her hotel room, and they had sex. I was shocked. To me, this was a big deal. The wedding is in a few weeks. But my wife didn't think it was that big of a deal. She said she shouldn't have done it, but it was just sex with a guy she'd never see again, just one last fling before her friends settled down, nothing to call off a wedding for. I could not believe what I was hearing, and my thoughts immediately turned to my wife's own bachelorette party. She went to Vegas for the weekend with the same group. If she didn't think it was a big deal, did she hook up with someone while she was there? She swore on the life of our daughter that she didn't. She admitted to dancing and flirting but nothing more. This led to a larger conversation about her thoughts on emotionless sex. Another shocker was that she admitted that if I were the type of guy who would be okay with her sleeping with other guys, she would probably do it. She knows I wouldn't be okay with it, so she has never brought it up. She again said that sex isn't love and that she has always been able to sleep with men and not get attached. Her friend thinks the same way. Now, I'm not thinking about divorce, but I feel like my entire world has been turned upside down. What does everyone think? Edit, I wanted to add one more thing that gives a little more insight into her thinking. She mentioned that if I had an affair that was purely physical, she would be able to forgive me. But if it were emotional, then it would be over. I'm the complete opposite. If my wife had an emotional affair, I'd see this as something I could fix. I don't know if that is just a guy thing or not. I wanted to provide an update on my post from a few days ago. Anyway, many of you told me to tell the fiancé. I debated it, but another one of my wife's friends, let's call her Claire, who was also at the bachelorette weekend, beat me to it. The whole scene was quite dramatic from what I heard. My wife and Claire were at the house of the friend who cheated, let's call her Wendy. When the fiancé came into the room, Claire said to Wendy that she needs to tell him now or she will. The fiancé pretty much knew what she meant and basically broke down. There was a lot of screaming and crying. The fiancé took it really hard, and as of now, the wedding is off. My wife looked shaken when she came home. She ended up apologizing for making light of the situation, given how much pain it caused the fiancé. I told her, no shit, and she admitted that her views on this were obviously much different from most people's. She gave me a hug and said she would never be able to live with herself if she hurt me like that. As for what happened on her bachelorette, Claire was present for my wife's bachelorette as well. Claire and I have also been friends for years. I met my wife through her, actually. So it stands to reason that she would have definitely told me if my wife slept with another guy during her bachelorette. So I suppose I'm satisfied for now. He learned that the grass isn't greener. Now what? I'm a 35-year-old female dating a 40-year-old male. A few weeks ago, my boyfriend broke up with me out of the blue. It was a "I can't do this right now, but it might work in the future" reason, and it was a breakup, not a break, but we agreed the door wasn't closed. 7 days later, I reached out and asked if he wanted to join me for tennis, which he quickly agreed to, even asking me to get a drink afterward, where he said we should start hanging out again. A few days later, we officially got back together, so we were broken up for a total of 11 days. Since then, I've learned that during those 11 days, he hooked up with his neighbor and even took her on a weekend trip with his family. The worst part is that she and I have a casual relationship, so I know her. We've all hung out together, and it's a very social neighborhood, so I'm going to see her a lot. He came right back to me and said he's all in on me, us, but, while he technically didn't cheat, he had an emotional and physical connection with someone else. I've always been so secure in this relationship, and he's never given me a reason to not trust him, but now I can't trust him when he's home alone since she lives downstairs. I'm so grossed out and never want to go to his place again because of it. We were at the point where marriage was in the near future, so it feels like he had to get something out of his system or see if the grass is greener elsewhere. I mean, I get it, but I'm really struggling with this. Any advice? I, 27, female, moved in next door to my husband's, 29, male, parents. Privacy is gone. I'm desperate and feeling like giving up on everything. How can I fix my marriage? My husband and I got married this year after a few years of dating. It was a rough start because of the bachelor party. We agreed to a simple dinner and activities in the afternoon for both, with no bars or clubs. This agreement literally came from him. However, he obviously went to the bars and clubs, and more was in the plans. He then requested all his friends keep it a secret from me. When I found out, it blew up, and we almost didn't get married. We decided to move back to his hometown to have a quieter life after the wedding. His parents had an empty house available, so we moved there, which is about 5 feet from their house. I was concerned about being so close to them because they always try to be very involved and cause issues in our relationship. However, my husband promised he would shield me from that and try to give me as normal a life here as possible. Just for context, I wanted to move to my hometown, which has bigger and better options for schools one day, but he wanted to save money and move into this house, so I gave in. The reality of living here is that I feel like I've lost all my privacy and, in part, my independence. Every topic or issue becomes a family or community issue. He talks to his family about everything and lets them know everything. A simple delivery man coming to the house to deliver something big ends up in a huge discussion with his parents because they butt in and want to help. I come home, and his parents are there to greet me. When we leave for a trip, he goes to give his mother a kiss goodbye and tells her where we're going, how, and when we'll come back. The mailman even leaves my mail at his parents' house. His aunt is trying to decorate our house for us. Just the other day, she left a plant at my door and said she bought more because houses need to be decorated, and she wants to do it. His other aunt needs something delivered, and when we're leaving the house, of course, we'll go drop it off. I feel like I'm unwillingly part of a community. Now, to some people, this might be perfectly fine, but I'm the person who has no social media, tells no one about my life, and values privacy and independence. I like figuring things out alone, and I discussed this with my husband. He is aware of this, but he doesn't seem to care. I feel betrayed. What can I do? I've talked to him, but he doesn't understand me. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on new videos.